Nobody else is speaking the truth.
Of course. We have actually been working it. This is something I've done for 30 years.
I'm so proud of you.
All the way, and we're about to deliver on that now.
Mr. Sowore, who is poised, yes, not the English, being done ready, that things have got to change politically, economically, and socially in this country, whether they like it or not. The table is got to change this time around. We are not talking not too young to run or too old to run. But this is a man who don't ready say anyhow when he take the system is got to change. Politics must change hand. Mr. Sowore is in the studio, and today we are judging the nation. My name is Diplomatic MC OPJ. As we do here. In the course of this program, we go link Abuja, Wazobia, so that whatever we do here. But right now, as my guest been talk somewhere now. Off the microphone. The government of Abuja, in fact, Lagos, Nigeria is not being governed. It's Abuja that is being governed.
Yes.
And that's why we are going to link Abuja, so they will be hearing us from here to Abuja. And if Abuja is in Nigeria, we have. That means the whole world
should hear us.
Will be standstill this evening. So, Oga, welcome again.
Thank you. Thank you, say you bring me come here. Especially for today, where we say the thing where they talk about Nigeria now today, where some people they realize that we don't talk and say this country no get leaders and this country no get government. That's the truth. We just get people where they pretend like say they know what they do, but they don't do anything except for to take care of themselves, take care of their pockets, take care of their family, and abandon the rest of the people of Nigeria to their own fate, So it depends on where your fate go hang. If you hang for hand of kidnapper, good luck to you. If you hang for hand of headsman, good luck to you. If you hang in the hands of SARS, now you sabi. If you hang in the hands of corrupt doctor or teacher, now nobody.
So living in Nigeria is an individual business.
No, look at the way that they govern Nigeria now. Everybody for Nigeria now just gets any house where you dey. Be like local government. Now you go provide your water, provide electricity. I better pass my neighbor. Now you go provide security. Now you go provide even schools where your children go.
In your days as a student union leader,
yes,
I remember your role you played when the late MK Abiola came to your school, and after the role you play after your talking. He singled you out that this young man called him for me. So what really happened then?
He asked me to come see him. So I went into the room and I saw the big politicians there. And I told him immediately, before the big politician came, he said, young man, I like what you are doing. We want you to keep organizing for us. And he brought 800,000 naira.
And we are talking about what year now?
This is around 93. So I told him, I said, Chief, you heard me outside speaking about corruption and all these corrupt people that you are walking around with. Do you think we are supporting you because of your past records? We are supporting you because there's injustice done against you. So how do you expect me as a student leader to walk away here with 800,000 and I can still keep my independence, keep my voice, and keep my head high? He said, no, I just went, the way he talks. So I said, Chief, I'm not here for that. Even you, with all your money.
At that time, the June 12th election had been annulled?
Yes.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, he said he's very sorry. It wasn't because people have been coming to collect money, and that's the reason why he was offering me money. So by the time we came to his house next time, he singled me out again to stand behind him. At that time, the politicians had started abandoning him. So he singled me, he said, come. He wanted to have an interview with John Momo. John Momo was the person who was the first anchorman at China State. He did everything by himself. So he said, let the young president of this union come and stand behind me. That was the reason. And that day I was wearing slippers. That was a video that is all over the place now that's gone viral about me standing behind Abiola in 1993. He said, you are a young person with integrity and I see you going places. Come and stand behind me while he was doing the interview. And he acknowledged me. I actually never knew that the photo existed or any video existed of me and Abiola until one morning somebody just woke up and said, John Momo had uploaded the thing on YouTube and I should go see it. And I was surprised because I'd been looking for the photo. I thought it was a photo, but the guy who took the photograph was at Vanguard. He died. So I never got to see the photo, but I saw a video of me standing behind Abiola, and but it was because when he was offering money, I rejected it. I said, no, we're not doing this because of money. We're doing this for the future of the country, and we don't think the military guys have a right to annul your election. A few weeks after that, Abiola, of course, was arrested, and he died in
all right, there's so much of grammar here from our guests.
Yeah. So, well, that's what happened with that.
Yes,
don't say women don't.
That was 1993. Yeah. That one means say it was the death or the annulment of June 12th. Now prompt your. I inform your activism or you grow up.
No, actually we will be start from structural adjustment program. Now we the protest against
SAP
in the SAP. When Babangida go bring this in SAP, social adjustment program, economic policy. So they can't go collect loan from the World Bank. Say they want reduce number of universities in those days. They had all kinds of plans. So now we can say we don't need loan. Because Nigeria was selling oil enough to take care of his education. Why do you go and take loan? Again? Now we first fight against these loans where they collect all over the place because we know that the loans will become a problem in the future for the country. Now, where we start with that, 1989, we do anti-SAP riot. For 1992, we do Babangida Must Go.
I think I remember all of that.
And 1993, we do June 12th. For 1998, I do Nuga protest.
I think our problem is amalgamation 1914, and I've also hear people sometimes whether they discuss, they go say, especially the politicians, they say Nigerian unity is non-negotiable. To you, is it not negotiable?
Any politician we talk say the unity of a country they non-negotiable. They on Kwale weed, they smoke and do. I tell you. Because now only justice will guarantee unity of this country. If there's no justice, no amount of National Orientation Agency jingles will unite Nigeria. There's no army will unite country where they fall apart as long as justice not there. Nigeria's unity is not only negotiable, it doesn't exist as long as there's no justice. Because sometimes unity not be physical structures, not be road connection, they cause unity. Now, if there are inherent things where bond people together, I want to address the issue of 1914 where they talk about. Yes, it is true to say, not be we decide to be together the way we together,
yes.
But now the same way, the same fate now the entire African continent suffer, And the colonial masters, when they arrange Africa for 1985, now for Berlin where they take the decision, they don't invite any African man there. I've been go Italy recently. One Italian politician come, they tell me, say, well, you need to, can we help you so that they bring migrants come Italy, we want you to stop migration. Will you be able to stop it at president? I say make a cool down. The time you enter Africa, where you take visa from? Where they tell me about migrants. You people are the to migrate to Africa illegally into Africa. You migrate, enter everywhere you like, you rape, you steal. I say if Africa is a hotel, it's just like you enter one place, you steal the pillow, steal the bed sheet. After you come back, steal the cooking pot. What are you talking about? They tell me, say, tell you, keep your migrants. I say yes, we will, but the only way that can happen is also justice for Africans. Because look at they produce cocoa for Ondo State.
Oh, yeah.
But the people of Ondo not afford chocolate. Because why? Now you both man, they determine how much they buy cocoa, and then they determine how much they sell chocolate. So how you go fit afford waiting? Now only one person they determine how much to buy and how much to sell. And Switzerland we get the best chocolate. you know, if you find cocoa tree for there.
Have you ever wondered why in our national coat of arms we have peace, unity, and progress, but there is no justice? And those things we have in the national coat of arms, now then they always ask from Nigerians.
Because, like amalgamation, I'm sure it's not be even Nigerians will draw the coat of arms. See me some Yoruba guy just tell the Nigerian man, say,
remove justice
from it. Look at our flag now. Our flag, make I no lie. I think we get the laziest flag in the world. Even if not to just throw cockroach in the middle, you know. Even not to just throw cockroach in the middle, so show creativity. Our flag no get it, just slap, you know, green and white in the middle. It doesn't make any sense. You go to other African countries, you go see flag, it will show something of heritage. But they rip away our heritage. They take away our language. You see Nigerians and they argue, say, you know, you don't know how to speak English. Is English your language?
Is it your language?
You know, the queens, it's a bit speak Yoruba, it's a bit speak Hausa, it's a bit speak Igbo or Ibibio. So a lot of things they're wrong with the way they constructed. Look at our education system. When I enter university, go study geography. Before they teach me about any lake or river for Nigeria, they don't tell me about the Great Lakes in the US. So I did there, I did do exam about the Great Lakes. Meanwhile, since I don't travel, I've only been to one of the Great Lakes. But the lake where they near my village, Opotu Lake, nobody teach me about it. Because they don't want you to know your culture. So that you don't go forget pride. They want you to know their own culture. So they get one time for this country too, for this Lagos, everybody way no like name, you go just a very jumbo. You know, you must have English name. Somebody, even if you go interview, you give them your name. If you know, you say, don't you have an English name? You know? So now part of the problem, I just address this issue about from amalgamation till now. Say we just don't get people, we get grip of our cultural, political and social experience where we need to move the country in the direction of progress and prosperity. Because as you said, they don't command justice from the coat of arms. And until justice be the prevailing mantra for our digital code of arms, we waste our time.
Politics 2019 ahead. I have been prophesying or predicting that if care is not taken, by the time we get to 2020, Nigeria will still be 59 years old. That means we would have skipped 2019. That might happen if Buhari decides to run and he faces, I foresee problem. If he runs and he wins, I foresee problem. So the best way to avert 2019 political turmoil or anarchy or upheaval is for Buhari to be begged to not to run. What do you think?
Nobody go beg him. Buhari go lose. Buhari go lose and Buhari
without problem.
Buhari go lose. Buhari don't lose 3 different times before nothing happened.
The last time he talked said Nigeria will be ungovernable if he lost, and he did.
Yes.
And since then Nigeria has not been governable.
The thing will happen at that time. Now the people way they arrange the election. Well, the way they handle the election, we know they're transparent. If they say they do transparent election, that time self, Buhari will lose. But it will be clear to everybody say Buhari lose. When they do election for 2015, when Jonathan lose, it was clear to everybody. Nobody could even go to court. In that election in 2015, there were not a lot of court cases, even at the governorship, senatorial, and House of Rep level, because it was clear to a lot of people that they lost the election. The elections were fairly transparent. Fairly, I didn't say they're completely transparent too, but it was a better improvement on previous elections that we've had. So this election, when they come, make I arrange how Buhari go lose to you, and it go declare to Ram. See Buhari before, some people they vote for Ram for Taraba. Nobody go vote for Buhari for Taraba in this election. Nobody they vote for Buhari for Plateau for this election. Nobody they vote for Benue for Buhari in this election. Nobody they vote for Buhari for Southern Kaduna in this election. Nobody they vote for Buhari for Kwara in this election. Nobody they vote for Buhari for Kogi in this election. Definitely nobody vote for Buhari for South South. Nobody vote for Buhari for Southwest. Nobody vote for Buhari for Southeast. So how it go dey clear saying go lose? Maybe at that time the constituency don't clear say Buhari go lose, so Buhari if he come package and go London say they sick as to prevent the disgrace wey go happen to am. But say Buhari not go lose this election, he go lose am. Make I explain something to you. During Abiola's burial, in Pekin won't beat us up because they see the burial of Abiola as opportunity to make money. And we did there, they disrupt the place, say military not fit come there. All the head of states we won't come the burial, we not agree them. The government where they bring money, they turn to physical fight against us, students and youth waiting for that. Now we conduct Abiola burial. Abiola children not be activists too, I don't lie to you. They be most of them. They do even call Abiola during that time. All the time we would kill ourselves for Lagos. Call Abiola they date Babangida's daughter, won't even marry her. Meanwhile, they shoot people on the streets of Lagos because of Abiola. They don't participate. You cannot find any protest where any of Abiola children lead, except Hafsat. We now come, but I know the reason why they do it and do that will not be for. I don't get problem with Abiola's family. My problem now with Buhari, where they do Monafiki with the June 12th and make people just know say this guy just a play games. The guy now, see Buhari was around when June 12th was annulled. Yeah. They didn't play any role in reversing the election. He went and worked with Abacha, who detained Abiola, never said Abiola should be released. He has been in power for 3 years, never remembered June 12th. In fact, it wasn't until we go make pronouncement for Abeokuta on June 3rd, say June 12th will be our democracy day. Now they can't remember, say, oh, June 12th day there. Congo do that, we will quickly invite people to Abuja, they shout June 12th. If Buhari win election next year, he go reverse June 12th, everybody eye go clear. He go back to May 20th. He go back to they fool people now. You know, they don't know Buhari. Buhari go just tell you say they sorry, say they don't look at the calendar very well. You know, but me I doubt say Buhari go run for this election because he go lose.
So what would you say Tinubu see for Buhari body when he imposed him or gave him to Nigerian people as the only general? One of the generals that will save Nigerians, just like other generals, save the America, save Germany.
Tinubu na businessman.
So he do business with Buhari.
Not be the first time we go do it. He do it with Ribadu. You remember I said Ribadu they run under ACN. They leave Ribadu alone, go they work for Jonathan for this Lagos. Now deals. These guys they be wheeler dealers now. They be politicians where they do deals. Now that's how they make their money. That's why you see every inch of Lagos we enter today and then owner.
I also envy one man where we say at the invite and see because he was one of those that inspired me too during the June 12th struggle. The now son, Lagos lawyer, the constitutional lawyer, Festus Keyamo now to work for Buhari as a director general campaign, whatever for Buhari 2019. How do you see Festus Keyamo? I'm disappointed in him grossly, Yes. I don't invite entire year, he's evading this show. He has promised to come more than 4 times. He has a great call.
You see, me, I don't want to challenge people's decision to do what they want to do with their lives. You understand? But what I know, say, people they make good and bad decisions, and anybody will take bad decisions go regret them over time. There's nothing anybody can do about that. See, Nigeria, you see, they talk something for Arab land, they call it Arab Spring. Yeah? Nigeria now rainy season is coming. You know, and person will not get moral roof, the rain go bitter. Well. What I tell you, if you say na Fulani, you're also being unfair to Fulani. Anybody will not come from Daura. You see, the thing where this is how I describe Buhari is that Buhari was elected as the president of Nigeria, but he's operating as a school prefect, so a senior prefect of Daura High School. So everybody we did for government must have Daura at the beginning. The guy can't see beyond his village. So it's not even appointing other Fulanis. It's just the Fulanis. I won't say even Fulani, but people from, because some of the people where they appoint themselves, they not be Fulanis, but there are people within his own circle. if you look at his government, it's made up of his in-laws, his nephews. There are some, the one where you know if you appoint, it will create internal position for inside villa for them, like his nephew, the most powerful one, Mama Daura. That one gets, it is stay for official headquarters. Now they run the government. If they enter meeting with federal government, if they enter meeting with Buhari, even if it's head of state, they go stay there. They command everything. So you are not even being fair to Fulanis by saying that he's appointing only Fulanis. Now right. People will come from a village.
So I would want to hear your opinion on this particular issue. Yes. That one first, because there are several others, but that one first, because now waiting concern the young people. If I open phone line now, and the young person calls, this is the first thing you're going to hear.
You see, the thing we did there, say, not be now we start. But now we come the rich young people with there for different generations. SARS was passed like this before. They have been around. The SARS arrest me for 1998. Go detain me for inside their SARS cell. What thing I do? I go lead protests for National University Games and come jam Ahigbe that time. Mike Ahigbe now be vice president for the military council. They arrest us. Everything where I see inside there, I never see them. Since that time, I never see them for my life. Every young person really they don't shoot them for leg. So the different levels of decay of their leg. 90. Now we be the only me and the student union leader at that time for Unilag. Now we be the only two people who don't get injury, gunshot injury. So they've been doing it for a long time. But then now we they expand and to enter society. I don't know what will be the agenda, but whatever it is. There's definitely an agenda to emasculate people for this country under this government. Because before SARS come, now operations when they do, the army will go and do Operation Crocodile Tears. Everything is all about how to shoot down a young person, whether they are protesting or whatever their grievance might be against the state, is to quell whomever is organized against the state, especially this particular government. And SARS might just be an extension of that ministry of oppression when they create. But that's how they talk.
Or maybe not.
They up to us. The reason why SARS they enter university campus now because student union leaders they complacent. For our own time, they're not born police to enter university.
I remember when
just
I
like that.
University that yes. Too. I mean the student union was so you are a Federal University of Technology.
But you see student, if you see NAS now, which is National Association of Nigerian Students, they are more interested in giving award to criminals. They will carry award, go give senator, somebody like that senator where they look for US, waiting be in name. Buruji Kasamo, they go give him award. They go give award to Bode George for a house where come from prison. Now, so they don't even get time to fight for the welfare of students. Otherwise, they would have been able to confront SARS. For me, when I reach power, when I vote for me next year, which I know still go happen, SARS is going back to wherever I came from. It has to be abrogated, completely exercised from the Nigerian police. Because SARS did like the death squads when they get for South America in the past.
It took you right out of my
they'll just yes, they're like death squads. They can do whatever they like. They stopped me for this Lagos when I do campaign. What was their problem? Because they see me for the back of Lexus. Ask me, say, where do you have a job? I tell them, say, where I go get job for this country? Do you have a job for me? I tell them, say, they go look for job. I don't jump, enter the car. Don't see, pray. Twice now I've been accosted by SARS in this Lagos. It wasn't until they recognized me when they come say, okay, I don't explain to I don't have to explain anything to you who I am. Every Nigerian has a right to sit in whatever part of the car they want and drive to the next destination. If you feel like they have committed an offense, there is a way to do it. It's not to be harassing people simply because they drive a car that looks nice. It's not a crime to drive a nice car.
Obtaining from them.
You understand?
The
people that they need to be working on, which are these criminal senators and House of Rep, and they are the one protecting them. An average governor in Nigeria has over 200 policemen guarding them. And they are the real criminals. They are the ones who are even causing the young people to become desperate and hustlers in their own country. This is a country where we say people be refugees inside their country. When I've been go Yola and Jalingo, I see Nigerians they call IDPs. That is refugees in their own country. Nobody is doing anything about it. No senator has gone to visit them. There was a particular place we went to for Bakassi. They've been there for 7 years. Nobody had. If you spend 2 million naira on top of them, you go relocate these people, make them happy. They don't agree, do anything for them. Meanwhile, every year they raise billions in their names. The Bakassi returnees, at whatever they call them. Nothing is being done. Wicked people there all over the place. But me, I believe, say the people where they responsible for this problem, now young people where they complacent. I can tell you something as a reporter myself. The biggest killing where they go on for Nigeria, now for Zamfara, cattle rustlers, where they rustle cattle for there. But because this government no get answer to that one, they are emboldened to move freely to any other part of Nigeria and kill. What they happen, we say it's very clear as if President Buhari no see the problem in the plateau as something that needs to be addressed with a strong hand. And I believe, say, somehow their body language shows, say, well, maybe some people they overdo things for that day, make you allow these people now they chop grass anywhere they want chop grass. That's why they are not interested in crime, because there are components of it will be crime which should have been solved. But even policemen, they tell us that when it comes to these headsmen, they're not fit near them. Nigeria police go tell you that. Remember the other day they sent IG there, IG no go. IG travel go another place. You understand? Transmission go another side. You know? So now the kind of problem we Nigeria been get with that, say the man at the top not be commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Now commander-in-chief of very wicked forces where they do it in their like, and it seems to be encouraging them to do. See, the thing where I talk, because I just came from Jalingo.
Is it a situation where the people who are supposed to protect the people are supervising the killings?
No, there is conspiracy within the armed force. Anytime you see these things happening and people are getting away with murder, massacre, there are elements within the armed forces who are supporting, extra military bodies in the country, or militants. It's not, this Fulani case is not the first time it happened, because I've been covering crisis. Even in Niger Delta region, when the Niger Delta region militancy was at the highest level, it was because there were active military assistance. In fact, they sold weapons to the militants from Kaduna. The army generals were selling weapons, Nigerian army weapons to the militants. So anytime you are seeing this happening, we will find out at the end that there are some top military officers who are aiding and abetting. Even the Boko Haram thing, it has been said that each time they try to kill Shekau, somebody will come from Abuja and say, stand down, don't operate until the Boko Haram will now go and ambush the soldiers. So I've covered Nigeria wall to wall, and I know that the greatest criminality in Nigeria exists officially.
You report one time. Did you report one time that because I have heard it, I've read it, but not from your platform?
Yeah.
That Buhari was requesting that the Boko Haram should not be killed but to be pampered.
I don't have that information, to be honest with you. But what I found out at the level when it was politically expedient, they felt defensive that the attack on Boko Haram was an attack on their religion. And because I was even threatened by a lot of these guys who said, because I was using the word Islamist militant on Sahara Reporter, they threatened me directly that Boko Haram is not Islamic. Why are you associating? I said
they are Christians.
So, but the important thing is that they later realized, because that was what we were saying during Boko Haram time, but that when they are done with the Christians, they will go after. These are murderous people. When they are done with the vulnerable, they will go after the powerful. It's a matter of time. It's the same thing with the Fulani headsmen. Let me explain something to you. The people who are the biggest victims, and this is unreported, of these Fulani headsmen murderous activities, are rich Fulanis themselves. They are killing them because...
Why so?
Because there's also an economic dimension to it. People who feel abandoned and cheated are turning on the people within their own communities and societies who they feel cheated them, who are wealthy. They are kidnapping them. We don't hear these
They
things.
don't try to investigate why the sudden emergence of Boko Haram and Fulani herdsmen, the core reason. Have you tried to reason why the killings, and majorly in the north?
Me, I'm telling you that I have investigated this so many times. And I tell you that
Waiting Boko Haram gone need.
Boko Haram
What do
would
they
have
want?
been wiped out. But Boko Haram is existing because of corruption within the military. The military generals don't want Boko Haram to end. Didn't you see what happened when Buhari came? They found money inside of a tank, in Badagry. They found money, dollars inside sewage in Abuja. The generals were having a good time with the Boko Haram insurgency. Whereas Boko Haram was taking over territories, the generals were buying houses abroad. Was it not as Sahara reporters that we found out that the chief of army staff was buying house? So what do you think the money comes from? It comes from the escalation of the war, because when you are doing defense spending, nobody is doing audit. They just come and say, okay, look, when they wanted to go and collect the girls from Boko Haram, did we ask how much it would cost? No, who was talking to Boko Haram? Who listened to the conversation? Who actually knew how much Boko Haram demanded for ransom? There was a conspiracy information at that time that Boko Haram was willing to release all the girls. They said, keep them because maybe we go collect more money.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So
when Boko Haram brought Dapchi girls back, didn't Boko Haram drive into... They even addressed rally for inside Dapchi before they left.
The villagers were clapping for them.
What do you expect the villagers to do when they see say army don't run away from Boko Haram?
So when you make Dapchi girls return quick like that?
Na money now. Na money and embarrassment. The thing be say, the question you should ask be say, who go carry Dapchi girls? Which version of Boko Haram enter Dapchi?
I don't ask that question for you.
That's the question you go ask now. Which version of Boko Haram enter Dapchi? You understand? Because now they go even tell you say there are about 3 factions of Boko Haram that is existing.
And there is one Mama Boko.
That one is
talking all the time.
Yes.
Is she untouchable?
No, see, even the Mama Boko person that we're talking about, every society has got people that know even the most difficult people. They interact with them. In the US, if there's a breakdown of law and order, if there's a ransom situation or a hostage situation, there are people who are trained to go and talk to the person to drop their weapon so that they can evacuate people peacefully, because those are very difficult. I don't know who this Mama Boko Haram is, but the way she described herself, I think it's a combination of 2 things. Part of her story is exaggeration of what she is and what she's not. Part of it is also legitimate because she knows some of the Boko Haram guys. I'm talking to you here, used to be able to talk to some people who know Boko Haram to get information about what is going on. It didn't mean that I have sympathy for Boko Haram. I'm doing it as a journalist, as an investigative journalist. And sometimes they will figure out a way to send video to AFP. Doesn't mean that AFP is Boko Haram. They send video to us. Even sometimes we get some of their videos, because it's our job to ensure that we keep reporting on the issue. And at the time, the federal government even said that I was working for Boko Haram, because I was reporting as soldiers were abandoning their post and leaving Nigeria territory in the hands of Boko Haram.
One question Nigerians, including myself, don't they ask since we say, when Unandi Kano with the IPOP,
yes,
do small agidi,
yes,
in that last 1 month before they were declared terrorist organization. How come it's so difficult for Buhari to declare Fulani herdsmen terrorists? Nobody has been able to provide answer to that.
I think I said it in my previous conversation that Buhari clearly is very tolerant of the Fulani herdsmen farmers. He doesn't see it as a terrorist situation.
He empathizes with them.
Yes, he believes that somehow this is a misunderstanding between communities that are supposed to be living at peace. He believes that the Fulani herdsmen have a right to graze, and that's why they were talking about territory and colonies for cattle. It was when the pushback happened that they now stole our own idea of ranches. I was coming from Jalingo. I saw a herdsman on the road. I stopped. I talked to him and said, what is it that you people want? Exactly. And he said if they can get a ranch, they'll be fine. So what is a ranch? Other countries are using ranches to solve the problem of protein for their population.
And the rich Fulanis get the cows. Couldn't they provide ranches for their cows?
But the thing is that, why is it that where they here, where they chop every part of cow, not feed the raised cow? Ask yourself that question. Why can't we be raising cow there with the chop? And there are Fulanis in Argentina. Argentina has one of the best meat industry, cow rearing industry. They have it in Kenya. Are there Fulanis there? The thing is that when you don't have innovative leadership, problem festers. Why is Fulani herdsmen so powerful? It's because there's an economic dimension. There's economics in cattle rearing. We get movement, and they're very, very popular. Even children, they shout, take it back, take it back. You know, one woman even tell me one day collect money from her husband. We not pay him for soup. And the man comes and say, where's my money? He I've taken it back for myself. So, but the movement is growing, is very strong. Millions of Nigerians across everywhere we've been, which is available online. You see, as they receive us, we go to Jalingo. I've never been to Jalingo myself. Young people, they wait for us. They don't want our country back. Yola and Adamawa State. We went to Jos. The hall was packed. We've been to Umuahia, Aba, Port Harcourt, Warri. We've been to Benin, Akure.
Do you usually go to the youth in those areas, or you go to the opinion leaders, or?
It's both now. When I went to Kano, I went to see the Emir of Kano, Sanusi, the former central bank governor. I went to his palace, and he gave us full traditional military honors. You know, all the Dogaris were there, present. When we went to Kaduna, we went to see Balarabe Musa, we went to see Sheikh Gumi. And we also went on radio shows, and then we did a major town hall meeting in Kaduna. At Arewa House, it was jam-packed, to the extent that even when they took light, people refused to leave. So we also have all these things available. We went to Ilorin, which is the private estate of the Senate President.
Oh, yes.
And the place was packed. You know, probably is the biggest crowd we've had was in Ilorin, because the people of Ilorin have always wanted to break free from that political phantasmagoria. Is that what that Senate, that House of Representatives?
How you go describe Buhari as a president?
I don't know.
President, or?
Honestly, I don't know Buhari. I've never met him before. There was a time I was in New York, and that was around 2015 after he won, and he came to New York to the United Nations event, and he said he wanted to see me. I said I'm not interested, because I don't know what to say to him if I see him. I don't know if he understands me. I don't know if he listens to people. But I'm glad I didn't go, because it would have sent a wrong signal that maybe I have something private to do with him. But what I've heard about him is that most of the time you think he doesn't know what he's doing. He actually knows what he's doing. They say he's a very manipulative person. In the North, they call him Munafiki Banza. You know, that means a dishonest person.
Very dishonest.
Yes, they said, it's somebody that is very manipulative.
Very funny.
Yes.
When you win finish,
yes,
what dimension of fight against corruption you go?
See,
I'm sure if person like you win, in the first 100 days, more than 100 politicians go there for jail.
I know
for corruption.
No, you see, the way the thing works is this.
Well, I know you have the address here.
Yes, the way it works is this. I don't think government should be about telling people how many people will go to jail. It's to let the institutions work.
Let the institution.
Yes, the institution will give them independence to work. We've had.
Same thing when Awolowo talk that time when almost don't win finish, when he tell Obasanjo says when I'm going to prove all of you. Just say you're not going to win again.
Yes, but the thing is this. One of the things I say, and it's very important, because they've all sentenced our own future to misery. We should speak to what will happen to them.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That was why I asked the question.
Yes, so I'm not afraid. I've never shied away from it. I went to Ilorin and said that the Senate President ought to be in jail. Inside Ilorin, they said nobody can come and mention his name in Ilorin. I said,
why not?
Yes, because they have configured a lot of Nigerians with panic buttons. So even without them pressing it, you go press on yourself the fear for no reason.
Even journalists, especially electronic broadcast media, we have been conditioned or preconditioned to operate on self-censored.
Now because we still they operate with license where you collect from government. What to stop you from the do your own?
I'm not censored.
If government is threatening you for here, you can go and set up Facebook Live. Make them come to censor you for there. We can have just one device. They broadcast to the same number of people where they reach, and that's the future. The future of radio station not be studio anymore. Now this device. So and I don't want to make your guys a panic because I know say, but I'm
panic.
No, but the point I'm making is say, let everybody step up to the front lines. Now them go tire. As for light, we want to increase light from 7,000 megawatts to 24,000 because before Nigeria can even begin consider itself as a serious country, we need 24/7 electricity, and part of what we want to do is to bring in solar energy. From the northern part, we generate 4,500 megawatts of solar energy to take join within the country, bring in from gas from the Niger Delta region. If you look at Enugu, coal still there, but we know the explorer. Although coal is a very difficult product, but we can still use as a clean coal technology out there that we can use coal to generate electricity. But the low-hanging fruits were there. Now you go bring employment because to put together 4,500 megawatts of electricity, you will need to employ almost 2 million people. The infrastructure plans that we get to build roads ensure say every road for Nigeria from one region to the other be dual carriageway. That is over 200 and I think it's about 22,000 kilometers of roadway we need to build immediately. Now one will employ almost about some 1.something million people will go to walk to the build roads. The agriculture where we want bring, go employ nothing less than another 2 million people because fertilizer we will do instead of buying Prado Jeeps, we're going to buy tractors. So they're available for people to use tractors from government to plow their land. You also have technology that is going to play a major role in agriculture that we are not bringing in now. Other countries, they use improved seedlings. Nobody, they plant corn for 6 months anymore. Corn that can mature within 2 months, they all over the place. And they are not genetically modified. But the thing is, the government is just paying lip service to agriculture. You heard the other day, the Minister of Agriculture said that they closed down rice mills for Thailand. So I said, if you get close for them, I would say we get the ones where they pop up. Yes. There's only one rice mill for maybe Kebbi. It's Kebbi, I think. Lake rice. So how can Thailand be closing down their own because of one lake rice mill where you get for here? But say this is government by propaganda. But what I'm saying is that we won't employ 200 teachers, for example, train them for 6 months. We want to employ 160,000 health workers because when we do our research, now health be the number one need when Nigerians get. But the belief we say if you improve security, less stress good day, people can live healthy. If power day, mosquito don't go fit. They deal with us the way they deal with us. Even you can sleep at night. Exactly. And the moment there's purchasing power for you, life will be better. That is why we are also targeting paying workers 100,000 as minimum wage. The same thing for coppers. Any copper will accept. What thing I go do for NYC, I will not make NYC compulsory for people who don't want to do it.
It's not even.
But anybody that is in the NYC that agreed to do it will be paid minimum wage of 100,000.
It was Gowon's agenda, perhaps that will unify Nigeria.
But that's they've tried all kinds of things. Without justice, there can never be unity. But I'll also be quick to let people know that the best resource of the future may not be the one that we have now. So technology is coming. The people who are technological savvy are going to be the new people with gold and oil. And So if the basis for asking for resource control is oil, I'm sorry to inform our people in Niger Delta, oil will not last another 20 years.
Honestly.
One, we might run out of oil in this part of the world, and another thing, technology is coming so fast, nobody's going to be using petrol in the next 10 years. They'll be driving cars with solar panels on their head, and they'll be driving faster than the one that has petrol. They'll be driving cars that are using electricity, and they will do better than, or all kinds of other means of fueling cars are existing now. That if your future is dependent on oil, I'm sorry for you. Just to let people know that they have a chance to have this not become their lot by changing the people who are causing the problem. The cause of the problem is the current regime, either directly or indirectly. They are the ones encouraging this bloodletting in the land. And to stop it, we have to send them packing. It's as simple as that. With your PVC. And when you vote, you also have to stand your ground.
All right.
So that we don't have a repeat of Abiola's June 12 imbroglio.
All right, we cannot thank you enough. We look forward to you coming back again.
I'll be back.